And my mom just told me, okay, you guys have a good night, we'll talk tomorrow. He got mad again. My mom had spoken in Swahili and he didn't understand. You know, the guy pushed me again. He held my neck here, and don't forget, in that whole estate, I was the only person who was in the estate, since it was festive season, so everybody had traveled to different parts of the country, so we were the only people who were left in that block. And the watchman, no, 3 people in that whole block, and we're in 6th floor, and the watchman is at the gate. It was so scary. Hi amazing people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Pauline of Simple Lady P. Yo guys, I'm so humbled for you coming to my channel, and thank you so much Tuco for airing our love story. It was an amazing one. I appreciate so much. And guys, I got so many comments on the DM. I got so much calls and everything, people wanting to know why I went to Tinder. And I think this is the amazing story that I have to tell you. So guys, me personally, I had a lifestyle that I wanted for myself. It is not a high life lifestyle, but I loved to be me all the time. Always loved to be me. And I met this amazing guy one day when I was showcasing. In fact, so many people don't know this, but I was a model. I loved to showcase car, clothes, and all the runways that were happening. So I was a vibrant person on that. So I met this one guy who came to Kenya, and he was interested so much on cars and all these. But then I was showcasing cars in KICC in Nairobi. So this guy got interested in me, and I was so lenient about it because we have had so many stories of white men and black women in Kenya or in Africa. So we tagged along with the guy for so long because the event was taking a whole week. So we tagged along. Each and every day we would meet up in the event and we'd catch up, have good times, like talk, chats, do things together, explain to him more of African culture that he wanted to know. And this guy became so like, you're a good girl, so why don't we be friends? So we started with friendship first. It was not something that we rushed. We started being friends, and we would chat, we would talk. I showed him so much of Nairobi life and everything. And so when the guy was coming to Kenya more oftenly, he would call me and we would catch up. And now that's when he asked me if I would be his girlfriend. So with the white people's version of, you know, you've met a black woman and you want everything done so very fast, you can't control that, you know. And now the vibe of being with a white man, everybody thought this was a kill, that you fell on a good deal having a white man, and so many people are looking for white men outside there. So I got to know the guy and we became so much of friends. In fact, he started even traveling in the country to come to visit me personally, and not to go for adventures in our country, you know. And now this guy wanted more of my life, more of my family, to get to know me. So, and the first thing he asked me when he proposed to me in town, you know, so the guy proposed to me, and I was so like, I was happy, though I didn't expect it. It was so fast, but the guy proposed to me, and I was like, okay, yeah, let's do this. So one thing I didn't know about this guy, he was so possessive. So when he proposed to me, we were outside Java and Garritos in CBD, yeah, near Archives. The guy proposed to me. He tossed the ring and asked me, will you be my girlfriend? Understand me well, it was, will you be my wife? It was, will you be my girlfriend? And I said, yes. Okay. So we had a lunch in Garritos, we enjoyed ourselves, but this guy was so like, he felt insecure. He saw other men pass around and they were looking at me. And you know, the fact that he didn't understand that Africans, when you're seen with a white man, people tend to look at you so much as if you just fell from somewhere else, and they think that you got a good deal, but they didn't know what was happening. So the guy became so insensitive and thought like, why are people looking at you? Why are these guys admiring at you? You know, I don't like the way they're looking at you because you're slender, you have a body shape, you're tall, you know, you have this skin. So he started becoming jealous. And the very first day of engaging me, he hit me on my head with a soda bottle. And by luck, it was a plastic one, so I was not hurt, but I pretended to have fainted to see his reaction or what he could do to me. So the guy got shocked and he got worried to what has happened. I hope I've not killed this girl. And I was like, I pretended to have fainted for some few minutes and then woke up struggling with an headache. And he asked me, are you okay? I'm sorry. I told him, I don't like whatever you did. But he said, I felt bad when I see people look at you and people think that you're searching, and I'm here for you. I want to provide everything for you, give you the life that you want. And that thing didn't click on me. I didn't like it. Despite that you don't know me so well and you just proposed to me to be your girlfriend, you don't have the right or the mandate to treat me like that. So I just forgave him on condition and told him the next time he lay hands on me or ever do something crazy on me again, that will be the end of us. So the guy became apologetic and he showed remorse that he won't do that. He got so emotional. He didn't know what to do, but he just reacted. And I was like, okay, it's okay, so I forgive you for this. And through the month, the time the guy was in Kenya, we stayed so well. No fights, no nothing. So sometimes I would wake up and find that he has prepared for me breakfast. He would prepare for me some meals that I don't eat. And with this, it made him feel bad that he is putting more effort to prepare for me delicious meals. But to me, as a woman and as a Kenyan or African woman, some meals, we have not tasted them until you go and meet these people outside the country. So I would get things like shrimps, rabbit meat, and you're not like, it's not your thing, you know. So this guy was getting more mad at me because his meals was not what I wanted. So he would ask me, why am I so comfortable with your Kenyan meal, your traditional or cultural meal, but you're not comfortable with our type of meal? So I had to tell him, you have to understand me. I've never eaten such food, so you have to give me time and learn to eat them. So the guy was, okay, fine. So every day when I went to work and came back, I would find him waiting for me at the mall, and that is Garden City Mall. He would wait for me there and we'd go home or walk together, do some shopping and then go home. Now this guy had an issue. So when he came to Kenya, I would always pretend that I don't drink alcohol, like at all. I don't taste alcohol. I know nothing about alcohol. But that day, few days after he proposed to me, I took him around the town, CBD town in Nairobi, and we were catching up. We were in good mood. So I saw a certain joint and asked him if I could surprise him by taking him somewhere. And he was like, okay, sure. So anything for him was good. So I took him to a certain joint in town, and it was an open area where people go and catch 1, 2, 3 bottles. And I told him, would you like to taste a Kenyan beer? If maybe you'd like it more than the wine, I wouldn't mind you trying it. So in my mind, he had already told me that he was not meant to take alcohol, and if not taking at all, but to just have minimal alcohol in his body, because he had a condition of, if he takes too much of alcohol, he gets so violent and do bad things. So I offered to buy 1 bottle because I knew with 1 bottle it won't do any harm. So my guy accepted. We went somewhere. I bought him 1 bottle of Tusker and he enjoyed it. So he drank that and asked me, you can't be sitting here watching me drink this and you're not taking anything. Why don't you also try taking a bottle of black ice? And I was like, I don't like the taste, but for you, let me just try it. So I bought another bottle of black ice, 1 bottle, and I got him 2 bottles of Tusker. So he drank, and I didn't know he was registering all these things in his mind. So when we got home, he asked me, you said you don't drink alcohol, but the way I saw you drink the black ice, it's as if you're a professional in drinking. I told him no. You know, Smirnoff is like soda, it's sweet, so I was following the sweetness, not that the drink was so like bitter and everything. It is so sweet to lure you to take more, but I don't think I'll ever try such thing again because I'm already feeling dizzy and it's not working for me. So the guy was like, okay, wow. So fast forward, I went to work. A week later, this guy was left at home, so he calls me and tells me, you know what, babe, I want to go to the mall and catch up some things, buy some food and some drinks for us. So I was like, okay, fine. So what drinks are you going to take? He told me, I want to try the Kenyan beer again, this time another brand if I get it, and I'll get you some juice that you want. I was like, okay, fine, no problem. So when I got home, I found that he has bought 2 packs of the Guinness and 2 packs of Tusker, and he had bought the 5 liter box of wine, of 2 different type of wine. So one was white and the other one was red. And I was like, okay, why did he have to buy all this alcohol and he's not meant to drink alcohol? And when I asked him, he became so rude. Like, why do you have to control me, what I'm taking or what I'm buying? It's my money at the end of the day. And I was like, yo, I didn't have anything bad intention about it, but I felt that when you told me you're not supposed to take alcohol, it was meant that you're not supposed to take alcohol. But I think this is too much for you. He told me, don't worry, I'm going to take this with the span of the 1 month I'm in Kenya. And I'm like, okay, good. So the guy would take 1 bottle and drink, and then after 5 minutes he's like, I don't feel as if I've taken anything, I just feel as if I've taken water. He adds another one and another one and another one, and I started becoming worried. So I told him I don't like the way he's drinking, but he has to go down on it. So we left it at that. He changed for some few days, maybe to please me, of which I didn't know, but just left the story at that. Okay. No, it was almost Christmas, and this guy was, you know, here for the holidays, and it was a good thing for us. So we were to go home. He had bought a very big bag with gifts for my family, and he has met my family before. Not that he's a stranger to my family, so he had met my family. So he had bought gifts for my mom, dad, my sisters, my little sister's kids and brothers. So, and I was so much okay with it. So we went to Shags in Meru, and this guy was so happy to be experiencing the Shags, you know, the village life in Kenya. So he was so comfortable, and I was not supposed to stay there for long because I was meant to go back to work on 29th of December. So I was supposed to report back to work. So we stayed with the guy there. He was so comfortable, he was so happy. But I told him, I want to go back to work in Nairobi. He asked me, why don't you just stay a little bit and have fun? I told him, you know what, I can just leave you here at my home. I go back to work for 3 days, and then I'll come join you back when it's the eve of New Year. I'll definitely come back. And he was like, no, you can't leave me here, I have to go with you. So I told him it's okay. So we went back to Nairobi, and he was getting bored because I was going back to work, and him being left in the house and doing nothing made him feel bad and bored. So most of the time he would just have time drinking and doing his thing before I'm home. So it was on 31st, and he told me, you know what, baby, we have to go somewhere, catch some food and drink, and then have our New Year Eve as we just having fun, the 2 of us in the house. There's no need of going out. That time we didn't have the corona thing. I told him it's okay. So we bought some rabbit meat, we bought some fries, we bought so much of food and some drinks for him. I didn't drink, so I bought him some drinks, and we started the vibe. So on that day, as we are just having fun, the guy got worried and teased, and I'm like, what's up, what's going on, are you okay? He told me, yeah, I'm okay. All of a sudden my mom calls me, and when my mom calls me, definitely we're going to converse on our mother tongue. Not that we didn't want him to hear anything, but you know how your parents talk to you, you can't force them to speak English. So my mom called me. She wanted to know all about how you're faring, are we okay, you guys, are you coming over for New Year, and such stuff. So we spoke with mom, and mom told me, pass the phone, I want to speak to your friend. I don't want to mention names. So I passed the phone to him and told him, Mom, I want to talk to you. So he spoke with my mom, they conversed. They spoke for around 5 minutes, and then my mom told him, give Pauline back the phone. So he gave me back the phone, and my mom asked me, are you guys okay? So you're not coming? So I had to respond in Swahili, of which he doesn't understand at all what I was saying. So the guy became mad. He became furious. I didn't understand why, but the guy was so insecure, because even when we visited my brother's house, he didn't want to see me sitting next to my brother. Maybe he had a thought that he is my Kenyan boyfriend or something, but he was so much insecure to see me talk with anyone, may it be family or friends or neighbors, or even when we go to the shop. He didn't want anything that would make me talk to a man or a Kenyan version of a man. So he was not happy at all. So I told him, Mama was asking if you're okay, if you'll go to Shags for Christmas, for the New Year Eve, and he was like, but you just said no, we just left there 3 days ago, so you still want to go back? I told him, no, I can't go back, because on 3rd I'm expected to be back at work. So he told me, okay. An hour later, we were just seated and watching some movie, and I was lying on his thighs watching, and from nowhere he just pushed me, and I'm like, yo, what happened? Why are you pushing me? He told me, you know what, I'm not happy about you and your family. You're speaking the language that I don't understand, so how will you feel that when I'm talking? And I told him, I already explained to you what my mom asked. It's nothing personal, it's nothing that I can hide it from you. And if you want, I can write it down for you, and you go to the Google and get a translation of what she asked. So it's nothing personal, you don't have to fear anything. But his tempers were too high for that. I became scared, and I knew like my life is at danger. So I told him, I'm sorry, I have to go to sleep, have some fun, we'll talk tomorrow. And he told me, you know what, now you're leaving me here. Started complaining. I told him, no, I think you've drank too much, now you need to stop it so that at least we talk. So the guy started telling me, you remember I'm booking for you visa to come to my country, and you're here busy refusing. I don't understand why you don't want to come to my country. And now we are about to arrange our AG wedding, and you're still resisting on, so many things. I'm like, no, not that I'm resisting, but I just want to have a person that we can converse, at least understand each other, settle on a date together, inform my parents, and we do it together. It's not a hiding thing. So the guy says, okay, so when do you want us to do the IG wedding? I told him, we can do it anytime next year, since it's just a day to New Year. We can do our IG wedding maybe in Feb or March. He said, no, that's too far. I want it like in January, before I leave the country, so that I'll use those papers to invite you to my country, and we do now a mega wedding there. And I'm like, okay, fine, we'll just talk about it tomorrow, so as we go for lunch. So we went to bed, slept. Come the next day, we went out to have lunch. So one thing, this guy didn't know how to use the Visa ATM, so he thought his Visa card wouldn't work in Kenya. So his father has been sending us money, that is $100 every month, every day, not every month, every day. So his father could send cash to me via Western Union with my names, with my details, and it was easy for me to go and do the transaction for him to get the money. So the father was not, his father doesn't speak English, yeah, but he's the only person in his family who would converse in English. So he could tell his dad what he wants, and his dad could send money to him through me, using my ID and everything, my details, it's all about me. So I'd go withdraw the money and give it to him. The guy had no problem with paying rent, food and everything. It was good and it was comfortable for him after all. So New Year is here. We went to the mall. We went around. His father had sent some money. We withdrew the money from Western Union, and it was not a lot. It was $200. Yeah, that is 20,000 Kenyan shillings. I was given the money and I gave it to him. So he asked me, what are we going to have for lunch since it's New Year? Why don't we catch something here and eat and go home? I was like, fine. I didn't know fire was coming that time. So I told him, okay, what do you want to eat? He said, you choose. You're my lady, you know, choose anything. So I asked for chips, fries and shawarma. Yeah, because I love shawarma. So I asked for shawarma and he was asking for some fish fillets and some fish fingers and fries also, and another type of a meal that I don't know, I've never heard about it. So we were eating, we were fine, and he was telling me, it seems that you've never eaten this before. I'm like, I'm not greedy, you know. It's like, I'm just having fun. I love this shawarma. I used to take it when I'm at work. So the guy paid for the, no, he didn't pay. He told me, no, you know, it's time to pay. Can you call the waiter to give us the receipt for the food? I did that. So when the bill was brought, the guy was like, how can you eat expensive food than me and it's me who is paying? You know what? You're so stupid. I'm not going to pay this food. I'm like, so what's the problem about it? You asked me to choose what I want and I choose that. I didn't know it was expensive. Guys, do you know how much expensive that was? It was only $8. 800 Kenyan shillings, and he was complaining that I ate a lot of cash than him. And I was like, you know what? Don't worry, I'll just pay for myself. I had my ATM with me. I didn't leave it in the house. So, ladies, kindly never leave your money or your ATM if you have cash. Always try to pay your bills. So I told him I'm going to pay. I took my card and I was going to the waiter to swipe my card for my food. He told that guy, you know what? If you take that money from that woman, I'm going to beat you. And he had tempers. He would all the time, like, he's giving a voice of like a threat, like, if you do this, So I used to laugh about it. So he said, I'm going to pay it, but next time I take you somewhere and you eat expensive food like that, I will not pay. In fact, I'll leave you here stranded. I felt bad about it. This is the man who wants to marry me. This is the man who wants to take me to his country. So I had to think very fast. So I told him, I don't feel it's okay for you to treat me like that. So if you know you're not comfortable with me eating anything I want, you could have just let me pay for myself without you complaining. And then later he became remorseful and told me, you know, I'm sorry. And now I was feeling fed up because his sorries were becoming too much. So I thought next time he's going to kill me and still telling me sorry. By the time he's telling me sorry, I'll be dead. We went home. We were just seated there watching movies since we had nothing to do. And he was drinking. So in the verge of just catching stories and now starting to decide on which gown to wear, what to do for our IG wedding and stuff, my mom calls me again. And you know, African moms, how caring they are. They want to know how their family or their daughters and sons, how they're doing far away from them. So my mom asked me, how was your new year? How is it? You guys, where did you go? What did you do? So we started talking to mom, the two of us. I put my phone on loudspeaker and we spoke to mom. And my mom was okay. So my mom told me, why don't you guys have a good night? But she said in Swahili, because my mom is not fluent in English, so I can't lie to you. My mom was doing it intentional. No, she's not fluent in English. And my mom just told me, okay, you guys have a good night. We'll talk tomorrow. He got mad again. My mom had spoken in Swahili and he didn't understand. You know, the guy pushed me again. He held my neck here. And don't forget, in that whole estate, I was the only person who was in the estate since it was festive season. So everybody had traveled to different parts of the country. So we were the only people who were left in that block. And the watchman, no, 3 people in that whole block, and we're in 6th floor, and the watchman is at the gate. It was so scary. So I was like, why are you speaking this again? Why are you talking to your mother to a language that I can't understand? You know, now the guy is holding me here. He opened the door and took me to the balcony. My body, half was floating on the air, and the other half was on the balcony. And I'm like, why are you doing this to me? I've not done anything to you. I'm struggling and trying to fight him and tell him I did nothing bad. I'm trying to make him understand what I said and what my mom said. And the guy was, no, you know, you've been doing this. You're even always attracting men, you know. Men are looking at you wherever we go. It's like you still want these black things. And I'm like, you can't speak like that. And I'm in my country. I have the right to talk to whoever I want, even my family. He said, no, I don't care. As long as you're my wife, it's all about me and you. It's not about anyone else. It's just me and you. And Matthew is still holding my neck. And I'm crying and shouting for help. So I think his senses came back and he stopped doing what he was doing to me. And I rushed to my bedroom. I locked the door and I started screaming. I started screaming to a point that I thought to myself, we're only 3 here. So even if I scream, no one is going to help me. So I called a colleague to come and help me. I told him, you know what? This guy wants to kill me. So my colleagues knew I have a white boyfriend who we're about to get married to. And they asked me, what happened? Did you try to provoke him or something? I said, no, I don't know why he's behaving like this, but he's drunk. And he wanted to throw me down from the balcony, and now I have to look for help, or else this guy is going to kill me in here. So the guy, it was at 2 a.m. in the morning. So the guy had to leave his house and come help me. So he came with some police and the watchman. So they came when there are 3 guys, the watchman and 3 policemen, a watchman and him. So they were 5. They just stormed in my house because I'd given him the direction, and the time I was giving him the direction, I didn't want him to hear that he's being arrested, or I was calling police on him. So I was texting him and I would send voice mails at, I'm being killed, why don't you come and rescue me, this is happening, yo, if you don't come here on time, I'll be dead, this guy will just finish me. On the other side, the guy is wiping everything. It's as in wiping the TV, the dishes, everything. Is breaking the sockets, is breaking the cups. And I was like, you know, I don't care. Even if you break, it's you who bought, so I don't care. So the guy came. Even they didn't knock, they just pushed the door and got in. So the guy was like, who are you people? What do you want in my house? How did you get in here? And they told him, you know, your wife called us and you're doing something bad to her, so you better remain silent and let's go to the police station. You're going to answer, or you'll be answerable of what is happening here. Kenyan police, you're the best for us, but sometimes try and consider when things happen. So there is this police lady who asked me, why are you taking this man like a violent person, and you people you've been dating each other? The time this guy came to Kenya, you didn't involve us. So why are you trying to involve us when this guy is beating you? You have eaten his money. And I'm like, I have been dating this guy for over 3 years and we're about to be married, so he is my husband. So why are you asking me such questions? You know, I don't understand. And they are like, madam, you know what, if you want us to help you, give us 25,000 or 30,000, we're going to help you. I'm like, so you can't help me because I have no money? But you can't be having a white man and you don't have money. It seems that you're loaded with money. That's why you're accusing even this guy. I'm like, if you don't want to help me, it's fine. I'll just let it slide. So I took off the ring that he had given me and I gave it to him. I told him, from today, me and you, we are no more. So the guy was like, Pauline, no, forgive me, this won't happen. I know, you know what, this and this. And I was like, no, we are done, we are done. I don't want to die. So if you do this to me when you are in my country, what if I come to your country? You're going to kill me. And in the next few days, I'm brought back in a coffin. So I don't want anything to do with you. You better part ways. So the guy was like, okay, fine. So where am I going to stay? I'm like, I'll leave for you my house and I'll go stay with my friend. So that's how we were separated. He had to stay in my house and I went to stay with my friend for some few days before waiting for his visa to expire or get an emergency flight back back to his country. So we tried to organize an emergency flight, but it was not possible to get it ASAP. So it took like 2 days, and that's when his flight was scheduled to go back to his country. No one hurt him. In fact, my brother came all the way from Shags. He came to Nairobi, picked him up, and took him to the airport on time. And he took his flight back. So guys, I don't think whoever you meet outside, it's like, you girl, you know, why are you going to this app and you have a man? So it doesn't make sense. I was not in an app when I met this guy, and I was not happy. So when I went to the app, I was happy. So why judge? Anyway guys, see you in the next video.